Hi, it's Cheryl Ann. And listen, if you're getting this video, it's because you are about to have a conversation with your spouse about enrolling in Shine. And this is a really typical part of the process, having a conversation with us and then going home and having a conversation about your desire to invest in this process. And so after I got a lot of questions about how to frame this discussion, I thought, let's just put this on video, send it out to whoever needs it, and hopefully it will put you in a place of confidence as you go into that conversation, okay? So there's really three things I want to share with you today about how to structure and frame this conversation to get the outcome that you want, all right? The first thing I want to talk about is, are you going in to ask for permission to invest? Or are you going into this conversation to engage in a dialogue about why you're going to invest? They're two different conversations, okay? Most women will lean toward asking for permission, even if they don't call it that in their mind, even if that kind of feels like, I don't want to ask for permission. The language, the positioning is I'm asking. I'm asking for your blessing. I'm asking for your permission to do this. And it's not very effective because it puts your spouse in a parent-child relationship with you, where they are then going to be asking a lot of evaluative questions and feeling like really the decision is theirs to make, okay? So the alternative frame, the peer-to-peer frame, is that you're engaging in a discussion about why you want to invest. And, seeking input, they may have input or have a question that you haven't thought about. You may want to talk about how you're going to structure the investment, but it's a peer-to-peer engaged conversation about a choice that you've already made in your mind, and now you're really seeking alignment to that. All right, do you see how that feels different? So the language is different, sometimes even the body posture and body language is different, the timing of the conversation may be different, but it's important that we stay out of that frame of I'm coming to you to ask for permission to do this. It's a really disempowered state, okay, to go into the conversation with. So the second thing is I want you to make sure that you're going into the conversation being very clear that this is something that you want or something that you need. So you didn't get here by accident, right? You have been thinking about solving this problem that we talked about on the call, and you've now investigated an option, and you've come to the conclusion that this option will be the conduit to get you where you want to go. And because you're clear on that now, you need to express this desire from that place of confidence, right? I've done my homework. I have asked my questions. I am clear that this is the conduit to get me where I want to go, okay? And so when you share that confidence telegraphs through to your spouse, and they hear you saying, I want this, I need this, I've made a well-researched, thoughtful choice that this is the process I want to follow, the method I want to adopt, and now I'm having a discussion with you about how we're going to make that happen, okay? So if you skip that step and you don't say, I want this, and you come in more like, you're going to think this is really dumb or crazy, or I know this is nutso, but who is going to say yes to that, right? Like imagine your child came to you and said, I know you're going to think this is crazy, but I want to do this off the wall thing. You already have your guard up, right? Versus if they come in and say, I really want to do this, and here's why. Or I really need this, and here's why. It's an important piece of the puzzle for me, okay? I will tell you, there's a caveat to this. Sometimes our spouses believe in us so much that they just fundamentally think we can figure this out on our own. Like they don't understand why we would need help because we're like Wonder Woman, right? You have to humbly admit that you have tried to figure this out on your own And the whole reason you're in this conversation and the whole reason you're at this point is because you don't want to waste any more time trying to figure it out. You know you need help and you need his support for investing in that help. Okay, that's a very strong frame that is far more likely to get you the outcome you want because it's honest. And that will come through. And then there's a third point. All right, so the first one was, you want to engage in a dialogue. You want to present this and advocate for it, not ask for permission. The second one was you want to be clear that you want or need this, that it's not an option to figure it out on your own. And then the third piece is what's in it for him, okay? You want to avoid positioning this as this is something that's just for you. And honestly, we've talked about this. There is a lot in this for you. You will personally benefit, no question about it. But so will he. And so will your children if they're in the house, and so will the people around you. So I want you to think before you're in the conversation about where have the friction points been that he may have noticed, and how will this method, adopting this method and being in this process, how will they ease those friction points and make his life better? And you want to bring that into the conversation very directly, okay? So if you do those three things, if you engage, not ask, if you are very clear that this is something you want and need, and if you are clear about what's in it for him, your likelihood of getting the outcome you want here is infinitely higher, okay? And I want you to have that outcome because if we're at this point in the conversation, we want to work with you, right? It's going to be awesome to have you and Shine. So if there's any other way that I can support you in having that conversation, please ask. And otherwise, good luck. And I look forward to seeing you inside of Shine very soon.